Today I'm going to show you how to reconcile credit cards in QuickBooks and credit cards that have sub-accounts. First, I'm going to navigate to the bank transaction screen. In this QuickBooks, it's bookmarked under my Bookmarks tab, or I can go to All Apps, Accounting, and then Bank Transactions. In this QuickBooks, you can see that I have a checking account, a Chase credit card, and then a sub-account of the Chase credit card. The first thing I'm going to show you is how to code the payment that usually only comes through on the parent credit card. This transaction is here. The easiest way that I have found to record this is to record a transfer from the checking account that it came from. So I'm going to record as transfer from the checking account, then click add. And then when I go over to the checking account, it's going to pop up that a match has been found to my transfer that I just created. I'm going to click match instead of recording another transfer to the credit card because that could cause duplicate entries. Once you have recorded the payments and coded all of the transactions, we are ready to reconcile. For this one, I'm going to reconcile through the end of March. So you can see that I have all of the transaction coded through March for this credit card and the sub credit card. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a journal entry. So one of the difficult things about a sub credit card is they each have their own transactions that come through the different feeds on QuickBooks. However, the payment is usually only recorded on the parent and not the sub. So it's really hard to get the sub account to reconcile without some sort of entry. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a journal entry to basically move part of that payment from the parent account to the sub account so we can reconcile it. To do this, I'm going to do plus create journal entry. I'm going to change my date to when we are reconciling this transaction. I'm going to leave the journal entry number. You can change that if you wish. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to debit the sub account, and I'm going to debit the sub credit card of the balance of the sub credit card that is reflected on the statement. So from this debit here, this is from an actual credit card statement, we can see that the balance of this credit card, the sub credit card, is $13,995.38. So that is the number I'm going to use in this journal entry. And in the description, I'm just going to put to reconcile credit card. And then my credit is going to be the parent account. And I'm going to save and close. So we'll start with the sub account first. To reconcile, I'm going to go to bank register and the sub account and then reconcile. So for the sub account, since I moved some of that payment over, I'm actually going to reconcile the sub account to 0 on the statement date. And then I'm going to click start reconciling, and it's going to check all of my payments off, and then I'm going to have to scroll down at the bottom and check off my journal entry that I just did. But I still see there's some difference. So sometimes with a credit card, sometimes a transaction will come through at the very end of a statement period and it actually doesn't clear to the next statement period. So sometimes we have to look and see at the transactions at the very end, and maybe there's a couple that we need to uncheck for this statement period and then reconcile the next statement period. So looking at this snippet again from the credit card statement, I can see that this $13.91 is not on this statement, so I'm going to uncheck that one. And then I can also see that this $84.50 is not on this statement, so I'm going to uncheck that one. And now we're in balance, and then I can hit finish now. So now I'm going to go reconcile the parent account. I'm going to do this by going back to bank transactions, clicking on the parent credit card, go to bank register, and reconcile. And for this one, I'm actually going to reconcile to the statement balance of this credit card account. So from this snippet, we can see that the balance is $15,958.02. So that's the amount I'm going to use to reconcile. Going to click Start Reconciling. When I'm on the reconciliation page for the parent credit card, I'm going to scroll down the bottom and click off the entry that I did. And then once I click off this entry, we can still see that there's a difference. So same thing with the sub card. There's some transactions that are coming through that look like they might have cleared on this statement period, but actually didn't. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start from the bottom and cross-reference with my credit card statement. And if these transactions did not fall on this period, I'm going to uncheck them until I am in balance. I'm going to leave my journal entry that I just did checked. That one was on there. That one was on there. This one was not on there. And these two weren't on there. And then even this 290 wasn't on there. So once I uncheck all of those, I'm now in balance, and now I can hit finish now. And now I have reconciled both the parent credit card and the sub-credit card of that parent credit card. If today's video was helpful, please like and subscribe and follow. Thank you.